Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to history class. Where we were talking about the Roman Empire. We talked about how Caesar Augustus took it over, and he took it over and made the transition, the switch from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. And it was while he was emperor that Jesus was born. Jesus was born at a time when Israel had been taken over by Rome. And a lot of people were looking for something that they called the Messiah. That means the chosen one. God had promised to send somebody to save his people, the people of Israel, from their enemies and from their sins. And that person was, of course, Jesus. For 33 years he lived on earth, and during that whole time he never sinned. And he spent time walking around the land of Israel, teaching the people. We said the word for that was he was a rabbi. A rabbi, he was a teacher. People came and listened to him to find out how God wanted them to live. But that wasn't the only reason that he came. He also came to die. Remember, God had said, somebody needs to die for the sins of everybody else. Either, if somebody doesn't do that, then everybody who dies has to go to hell. But Jesus said, I'll do it. I'll go to earth, I'll be born as a human, I will live on that earth, and I will die. What happened was that while Jesus was walking around teaching people how God wanted them to live, he was also saying that he was God, because it's true, Jesus is God. And the people of Israel said, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear what you have to say to us. We don't want to hear how we're supposed to live. And we also don't want to hear that you're God. So instead of listening to God, instead of listening to Jesus, instead of getting their hearts right, instead of doing what God wanted them to do, the people of Israel took Jesus and turned him over to the Romans. And they made up a whole bunch of lies about Jesus, about the sort of things that he'd said and done. And the Romans, instead of taking the time to find out whether Jesus had really done this, they said, okay, if you want to kill him, kill him. And so the Romans took Jesus and they crucified him. If you don't know what that means, it means that they took a piece of wood, stretched it out like that, and took some nails, and they hammered those nails into Jesus' wrists and into his feet. And they hung him up there to die. It was a terrible, terrible way to go. It was a way that the Romans invented. I'm not going to go into everything that happened when Jesus was on the cross, but he died. They took God, the Romans and the Jews took God and killed him because they would rather have Jesus dead than listen to what he had to say. And if that was the end of the story, it would be very sad. But it's not. It's not the end of the story, because Jesus is God. And Jesus did something that nobody else could do. And that was, he brought himself back to life. Jesus came back to life. And by doing that, God said, okay, somebody has to die for the sins of the world. Jesus said that he would. And so I would let him. Jesus died, but now because Jesus didn't do anything wrong, he can live again. Jesus died for the sins of the world, but he came back to show that God had accepted his death, his sacrifice. Because Jesus died, now nobody has to go to hell ever again. Anybody who asks God to take their sins away, who asks Jesus to wash away their sins, well, they're a Christian now. See, that was another thing that Jesus came to do while he was on earth. He came to set up the Christians. We call it the church. When we say the church, we're not the iglesia, we're not just talking about the buildings. When we say the church, we mean all Christians everywhere. Jesus was showing people how to be Christians. So, those of you who know that you're sinners, you can say, Jesus, I'm sorry for the sin that I've done. I'm sorry for the lies I've told, for the thieving that I've done, for all the times I've disobeyed my parents. He said, Jesus, I'm sorry. Please clean my heart. Make me a new person so I can be a Christian. And if you ask Jesus, will he do that? Yes, he will. Now, some of you have already done that. I know because I've shown some of you how to do that. If you're sitting there and you want to know how you can do that, then please come to church or get in touch with us on WhatsApp, and somebody will show you how you can be a Christian. So what happened to Jesus? Well, like I say, he didn't stay dead. He came back to life. And then he stayed here on earth for another 40 days, getting people ready to take the gospel, to take the Bible all over the world. Something that we'll talk about more on Monday. But after he got everything ready, Jesus went back to heaven. And he's there right now. And he's getting heaven ready for all of his followers, all of his Christians, all the people who love him, all the people who have had their hearts cleaned by him. Jesus is up in heaven right now, getting heaven ready for the people who love him and who follow him. He's getting it ready for me. I'll be there. I'll get to go see Jesus one day. Will you? If you don't know, then please get in touch with me or with Miss Susan or Mr. Mark or somebody, and we'd love to tell you how you can know that you're going to heaven, how you will get to see Jesus one day. All right, we're going to stop there for today. Let's go over our questions for today. Question number 1, how long did Jesus live on earth? Jesus lived on earth for 33 years. Number 2, how did Jesus die? Answer, he was crucified. Crucified. And number 3, where is Jesus now? The answer to that is that Jesus is in heaven, getting it ready for those who love him. So but Jesus, by his time on earth, he started something new. He started Christianity. And Christianity would help to change the world forever. It would also help to change the Roman Empire. How? Well, we will talk about that on Monday. For now, why don't we stop? So I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Take care.